And if the person becomes paranoid, his thinking will not be long. And if a fly by him, he will say it is a witch. And he will not forgive anybody.
The Interior Minister tells the Truth Commission that everyone lived in a hostile environment under Jammeh, and none had the audacity to raise objection to what was happening, but says atrocities committed by certain people were done to impress Yahya Jammeh.
We all should accept that we are all scared by them. We were all scared by them. There are many things that has happened in the hands of some people. They just want for the president, then President Yahya Jammeh, to know, and that makes them fail. They should have seen that it is Allah who is seeing them the job they are doing. That is the suffering that is within us today. But this country, the Gambia, we are the same father and mother. We should hold each other as the same father and mother. We should put aside the politics and be reconciled to become one people.
He asks Gambians to stay away from political discord and embrace one another as one people to avert problems. He says the security chiefs had to withdraw their support for Jammeh earlier in the impasse to help protect the life of many political detainees, including securing a bail for the UDP executives. He says he had also instructed police not to take orders from anyone beside him, and that was why when police were asked to stop people from celebrating Barrow's inauguration during the impasse, he told them not to until instructions were issued by him. For iAfrica TV, I am Omar Ahmad Toure.
Gambia's Interior Minister appeared before the TRC on Tuesday to testify on the alleged killing of the West African migrants in the Gambia in 2005. Now, a Tunisian telecom company, Telnet, is set for a landmark breakthrough in the technology industry by launching the country's first satellite from Kazakhstan. The country's president applauded the young engineers for their remarkable achievement after visiting the companies ahead of the launching. The Telnet company, a few months ago, also unveiled its first drone that could be used in agriculture and other activities. Here are more details of that in this report.
It's all hands on deck at Tunisia's aerospace and telecommunications company Telnet that is developing the country's first satellite, known as Challenger-1. Telnet entered an agreement with a Russian operator for the launch that is set to be a precursor for a constellation of 30 satellites to be launched in the next 2 years. Ahead of the launch, Tunisian President Kais Saied praised the company's young engineers for executing the landmark project.
These young people are a source of pride for Tunisia and its true wealth. Well done. I wish you success, determination, and self-confidence.
The satellite is scheduled to be launched by Globkosmos Launch Services on board Soyuz 2 from Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Its launch will mark a turning point for Telnet's group CEO Mohamed Frikha. The entrepreneur has invested millions of dollars in research and development in the company, which he founded in 1994, and trained and also hired hundreds of engineers.
We have been honored by the visit of our president in Telnet Technocentre. The president encouraged the young people to work in the new technology to make Tunisia a lead in the technology in Africa and in the Arab world.
Telnet Group delivered the satellite to the Russian company JK Launch Services. According to Telnet CEO, the Russian company will still carry out its own launch tests, including a virtual launch process, testing the ability of the satellite to be launched into space safely and its ability to take its orbit around the globe.
We have done the 13th of February the official delivery of our satellite Challenger-1 to the Russian Agency of Space, Roscosmos, at Moscow. And now we are preparing the launch of this satellite by Soyuz 2 from Baikonur, and this will be on the 20th of March, the celebration of the 65th anniversary of Tunisian independence. It's an historic date for us.
A few months ago, Telnet Group unveiled first Tunisian drone to be used in agriculture and other domains. The drone could monitor crops and livestock, as well as ensure rescue operations during floods. The drone was designed to meet the needs of the Tunisian and African markets. President Kais Saied described the satellite as a gift to the Tunisian people, especially to the founders of the State of Independence, Youth and Revolution. The success of the satellite project has paved the way for Telnet Group to become one of the main leaders in innovation and technology in the region.
From the reporter in Tunisia, we come back home and report on now the draft constitution, because the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, said he is optimistic that the consultations with political parties, which is a sequel to the Abuja meeting, would yield positive results. Jonathan was speaking on Tuesday after paying a courtesy call to the Gambian leader Adam Barrow at the State House in Banjul. The chief negotiator is back in Banjul for the third time to support the country's ongoing constitutional review process and facilitate the process of forging a workable national consensus. According to Jonathan, the objective is to get a new constitution for the Gambia and for the country to move forward. The former Nigerian leader is expected to meet political parties, civil society organizations, and other relevant stakeholders during the talks. Last month, leaders of 15 political parties went to Abuja for a 3-day dialogue with Jonathan. They, however, came back with no breakthrough, and NPP accused UDP of being the cause of the stalemate. This stalemate is said to be centered around the retroactive clause in the draft constitution. The so-called retroactive clause would have condemned President Barrow to just another 5-year term in office. Barrow's camp believe that the term he is serving shouldn't count, and therefore the clause should be omitted. UDP, however, disagrees. The party's leader, lawyer Ousseynou Tabo, said the right to change the constitution belongs to the Gambian people. UDP also rejected in manner to which the draft should be submitted to the National Assembly and was to remain unaltered when taken to the Parliament. And there's more news coming ahead, but from that latest development on the draft constitution as talks continues, we will now take a break and come back shortly with the remaining of the stories. Totos will be right back.
The Gambia may be the smallest country in Africa, but it will host the second largest gathering of world leaders in 2022. To successfully host the OIC Summit and put the Gambia on the global stage, the government of the Gambia set up OIC Gambia to mobilize resources for the implementation of key development and infrastructure projects on a scale never seen before. 20 new roads will be constructed across the country, and the Bertel Harding Highway will be expanded into a dual carriage highway of 2 lanes on each side. From all people in the Gambia deserve clean water and a constant flow of electricity. Therefore, an entirely new water system will be constructed, including new transmission and distribution networks to meet the increasing demand. In order to provide a more reliable supply of electricity, the OIC Gambia project will replace and double the capacity of the NAWEC transformers and overhead electric cables. We will equip the police with modern apparatus and technical training in an effort to keep the streets of the Gambia safe. By building the largest international conference center in the the Gambia as the leading conference destination in West Africa. With our partners in the forum, we will the preeminent position of our nation, the Smiling Coast, as a go-to destination. The OIC Gambia will create strategic partnerships that calls for the involvement of local talent and businesses as a matter of requirement. In short, OIC Gambia projects will create jobs, boost commerce, improve the urban outlook and lifestyles of many families across the Gambia. So let's support the OIC Gambia as it prepares us for one of the biggest global events. OIC Gambia, building today for a better tomorrow.
For the first time in the Gambia, your favorite GSM operator, Africell, is the first and only GSM operator to launch a new technology called the eSIM. The eSIM simply means you can use your phone without a SIM card. Do you have an iPhone 11? Any of the iPhone X series, a Google Pixel 3, or any new phone that supports the e-technology? Then walk into any Africell customer care center and activate your eSIM today. With your virtual Africell SIM, you can use more than one number without having a physical SIM card in your phone. Enjoy this brand new technology for the first time in Africa. eSIM phone with this code 111. Where Africa, there's the button.
And once again, thanks for joining us around the world, including the South African economy. By the COVID-19 pandemic, South Africa's GDP has dropped by 7% in 2020, and the country's economy has been struggling well before the advent of the coronavirus. South Africa has improved of its economy as economics activity is booming, but some economists not reach the situation. Let's have in this report.
South Africa, like most countries across the globe, suffered a massive blow to economic growth in 2020, but the country will reach recession when it hit.
The truth of the matter is South Africa has been trying to face over the last decade or so. While we seem to be in growth, at the end of the day, sort of recession was pretty lost in the years before. So, in that aspect, it's important to keep looking ahead and get the right sort of structural place so we can actually look more towards the trajectory rather than just sort of
Annualized GDP rose 6.3% in the fourth quarter of 8 of the main sectors of the economy recorded. Manufacturing recorded at 21.1%, the largest contributor to GDP. Some economists agree this is an improved performance, but it's coming off a low base.
In 2019, the economy only grew by 9%. The previous year, considerably 1.5, 1.7 projections. Finding South Africa has really lackluster growth over the last years, and this is not simply an issue. And I just to stress that positive growth that had even in terms of quantum and in terms of rate
growth. Slight 1.5%. Household expenditure increased by 7% as consumers started spending.
Consumers are severe. There's always uncertainty that power. Just to bear in mind, we are at a level high, and that a lot of people recover. So, whilst we do around expenditure, also throughout 2021, given that the general population and households are under at the moment, and considering the fact that a lot of goods here.
The gains that we're largely as a result of economic activity resuming the lockdown. South Africa still faces a massive challenge before COVID. Economists believe that only one of these issues are dealt with will any in South Africa.
We are seeing the worst annual fall since 1946. There's nothing to celebrate. What we can do is that this will show our makers and our economic clusters that we need an alternative. That data, regardless of your framework, quite the development growth path that we're on is an opportunity to accept that whatever we like to do work. And I think it's go back to the drawing board.
South African economy badly hit the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, dropping 7%. Of course, many other results as well. For Nigeria now, because a young Nigerian farmer has become an inspiration to many young Nigerians for his success farming. As he have in his school in 2015, Nigeria is the largest of onions in sub-Saharan Africa, an authority in its exportation in the and beyond. Despite the gain made in the cultural sector, farmers are still faced with security challenges. Let's have more details about it in this report.
Benjamin Aminu owns this 5-hectare onion farm in Nigeria's eastern state of Bauchi. Fresh and out of school in 2018, Benjamin was looking to explore opportunities in agriculture and started on a 1-hectare farmland. He has expanded offering jobs to and raking income of nearly $50,000.
And I started doing very just school, of youth with their mind to just to read with this. In the year 2015, after I and it gave me food. So after the result, yes, onions is a student that I can go into. Nigeria, we employ even the graduates of farms, and people from different parts of the nation call us with this onions.
But there are other products for onion farmers, like with the draft document that will expand onion exportation to other African countries.
You go to Sokoto Center, you go to Sokoto, they will load almost 100 bus. I don't understand. You go every day for do this onions.
Nigeria is the largest producer of onions in sub-Saharan Africa. The country produces 1.4 million onions, 2.4 million tons demanded in West. The government has been making efforts to close the gap and boost export capacity.
Basically, what we need to do is improve the product capacity of farmers. The way we can do these farmers is by giving them access to credit. This will help them to even expand. And there's also need to improve extension studies for us to also move on them in terms of production and storage. We need to make these farmers from substance even international. Doing all of this, it will improve production, double their demand, and even export.
Despite the sector, farmers like Benjamin are still contending with availability and weak. The government ran support so the nation can cash in the gains.
Inspiring Nigeria, Supreme the analysis, but for more details on others, you can also on our website on Africa.tv. But for the pleasure of your company, thanks. Bye.
Gem. Armed forces, immigration, customs, smartphone, saya